Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for tuning in. We have a lot to talk about, and I don't know. I was going to do an upload, but I wanted to start off because I usually do a live stream in the evening, and I wanted to start off with a live stream today just because I know that there are a lot of people, including myself, a lot of people who are still pondering and thinking and regrouping and trying to process why the Golden Muumuu, the wonderful, wonderful Madam Cyberhack, why would she accuse Tulsi Gabbard, a veteran? Clinton isn't a veteran. Tulsi Gabbard is. Why would she accuse Tulsi Gabbard of working with Russia when it was the Clinton Foundation? The Clinton Foundation that accepted money, tens of millions of dollars, and then several million during the uranium sale from a company that was eventually purchased by Russia. Eric H526. Hello, H&I's Haircut. Have a great weekend. Thank you. Thank you, Eric H526. Thank you. But you have to wonder, you have to ask yourself, is Clinton doing this to help Biden? Why would Clinton do this? To help Biden? To help Warren? Is that what's going on? Fred! Thank you, Fred. Eric H526, thank you. Why would Clinton do this when, number one, Bill Clinton met with Vladimir Putin at his home? Nobody is talking about that. That is a fact. In Newsweek, The Hill, anyone can look it up. So the question is, in terms of ties to Putin and to Russia, the Clintons have far more ties to Vladimir Putin directly. Hillary came into her Secretary of State position with a Russian reset. She was on the Committee on Foreign Investment and she couldn't veto the sale. That was President Obama, and he did not veto the sale for some reason. But she did not protest the sale of 20% of U.S. uranium capacity. Why is that? Why is that? So they're supposed to be tough on Putin, yet they preside over. Forget about whether they could veto it, if it was a business deal, it was above board, money flowing into the Clinton Foundation had no effect. Forget about all that. Why did it take place under an administration that Putin fears? I thought Putin fears Democrats. How could he fear Democrats if he eventually achieved 20% of U.S. uranium capacity? How does that even happen? That's the question that people should ask. Why is the Clinton Foundation linked to money from Putin? Why is President Obama's administration, why did it preside over and why didn't he veto the sale of 20% of U.S. uranium capacity? Why was yellowcake uranium shipped out of the country according to the New York Times? Cash flowed to Clinton Foundation amid Russian uranium deal. So Tulsi Gabbard, and this is all public record knowledge. You can just go. Cash flow, this is New York Times. Cash flowed to Clinton Foundation amid Russian uranium deal. New York Times. Yellowcake uranium was shipped out of the country into Canada. And Rosatom was able to use the export licenses of trucking companies. So this is public record knowledge. The fact that Democrats don't know of this or don't want to know of this doesn't make it any less real or factual. So the question is, who does it benefit? Does it benefit Warren? You think that Clinton is doing this for Warren? The only person on that debate stage that would even think of being principled enough to go after and address Clinton's failed foreign policy decisions, which happened to mirror Bush's foreign policy decisions. The only person who has the courage, and she's a veteran and she's amazing, is Tulsi Gabbard. That's why Clinton engaged in just a very simple preemptive strike. She's running, obviously. That's not even if Tulsi Gabbard and President Trump and little old me, and I've been saying this since 2017, I saw this miles and miles away, because this notion that Clinton is just like everyone else, no, she would not want to run again, she has a certain semblance of shame or wouldn't want to be embarrassed again. And see, that's nonsense. That's nonsense. Clinton's not only running again, she's actually paving the way for her candidacy. Jeff Long! God, I hope she runs. I'm out on this limb with HA. Jeff, thank you. Jeff, she's going to run. And Jeff Long, I appreciate it. I'm out on a limb as well. We're both out on the same limb, but it's called the Clinton Oak, the prehistoric Clinton willow oak tree. And Jeff, thank you so very, very much. There's a reason, Clinton said there's one person on that debate stage. Luis Rivera! Thank you, Luis. Luis Rivera, thank you. Thank you. Luis Rivera, thank you. There's one person on that debate stage that can go toe-to-toe with the Golden Moo-Moo. There's one person, and it ain't Warren. And God bless him, I wish him only the best, but it's not Bernard Sanders. Oh, I'm sorry. 600 security violations? Nah. I don't want to bring up your emails. I mean, after all, I'm the only politician in political history who had an opponent being investigated criminally. Didn't know that the FBI would cover it up, but nonetheless, I could have said, hey, my opponent is being investigated criminally. Huh? That's not a punchline. But he didn't. He said, I have enough of your emails. Why should I want to talk about that? If I had one email, you would have harped on it and never-ending condemnation. Hashtag Bernard's one email deleted. Because of Putin. Hashtag. But there's only one person. Tulsi Gabbard is the only one person that Clinton respects. Clinton does not fear Gabbard. She respects Gabbard. For people who she respects in terms of, fear in terms, concerned with, let's say. Clinton doesn't really fear anything. Madam Cyberhack fears nothing and nobody, especially not Bill. I tried to tell her not to run. She wouldn't listen. We're going for 2024 also. Hillary 2024. What was I saying? The only person that Clinton knows, will just bring out her foreign policy blunders and failures is Tulsi Gabbard. Now, this whole This whole notion of running as a third-party candidate, that's nonsense. Okay? Clinton didn't lose because of Jill Stein. Clinton lost because she's a horrendous candidate. And I wrote in the Huffington Post and Salon that she would lose. Okay, she's going to lose again. I wrote in 2017, the article's below, Clinton 2020 is a reality, get ready for 8 years of Trump. Now, thank God we have 8 years of President Trump. He's a very good president. And he's bringing home Americans. He's scaling back foreign policy. He's reversing 16 years of failed Bush and President Obama foreign policy. That is what we need as a country. It's really interesting. People calling Trump a despot don't realize that he signed criminal justice reform legislation, and he's bringing people home from never-ending conflict. So how on earth is that despotic? How on earth is he an authoritarian if he's scaling back U.S. foreign policies and non-interventionist? These people are going to lose again. And it's just a matter of what they do. It's a matter of how much divisiveness they cause. They're the ones who cause all of this maniacal and hysterical and frothing at the mouth type of reaction or behavior. They're the ones who couldn't deal with and accept the loss in 2016. They lost, and they've been trying to save face ever since. But the problem is they cheated a candidate. Then they blamed Russia. The whole thing is so absurd. And by the way, you know that very few Democrats truly believe the nonsense. Very few Democrats truly believe the nonsense. Very few Democrats actually think that Russia hacked the DNC to inform the country that Bernie was cheated at the behest of President Trump, because anything that hurts Democrats politically is a Russian plot. They will never own up to their failures. They will never accept their failures. They will never simply say, okay, well, we cheated Bernie Sanders, and so because we cheated Bernie Sanders and because we ran a horrible campaign where we called half the country deplorable, that's why we lost. Then she goes after Tulsi Gabbard, number one, to also teach everyone else a lesson. If you dare go up against the Golden Muumuu, if Tom Steyer tomorrow said that Clinton's foreign policy was horrendous, he would then be accused by Clinton of working with Putin. There's no logic behind it. It's just pure emotion. Because Clapper and Brennan seem to, because they were successful in fabricating this nonsensical hoax. Because Clapper and Brennan said that they were highly to moderately confident and then because of that, it was Bernie Sanders was cheated, not by Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who was forced to resign, but by Putin. Why? Because Putin told everyone that Bernie was cheated by hacking the DNC. And then Facebook ads that nobody saw. Zuckerberg was on Fox the other day, and it's like nobody sees Facebook ads. Does anyone purchase anything because of a Facebook ad? Where are these Facebook ads? There was zero interference in the election. Zero interference. There was no interference. Everyone thought that Clinton had a 95 to 98 to 99% chance of winning. A 98 to 99% chance of winning. She lost. Like I said, she would lose in the Huffington Post and Salon. I kept saying Clinton's running the show. Right after she lost, I kept talking about it. And people were like, I don't want to hear about Clinton anymore. I don't want to hear about Hillary anymore. I'm unsubbing. I've had thousands of people unsub because I bring up the fact that there's really only two people running the political machine. And then most of those people have, subscribed back to the channel. But it serves this is you have to understand also, whereas you and I find this egregious and nasty and, just a really despicable type of politics, why would you go after a veteran? A veteran, by the way. This is by the way, when Trump said, went after McCain, it was like, how dare you? But then when Clinton goes after Tulsi Gabbard, oh my goodness, Paul Short, hello. Thank you for watching. Oxford, England. Thank you. Pete Mitchell, thank you for being here for so long. Greatly appreciated. Thank you. When you look at the duplicity, the disingenuous nature of Democrats, they appeal to their sensibilities, their sense of morality and civility, only when it suits them. They don't care about if Clinton does anything, they're okay with it, or they just look the other way. Now they accuse Trump supporters, Trump voters of that. But see, people vote Trump not because of his personality, or sometimes very rarely because of his personality, but people vote Trump because they see a big picture. They want American foreign policy scaled back. This is very difficult for Democrats to understand because they are the party of military intervention. They don't think they're doing anything wrong. They don't think that their foreign policy is wrong in any way. They're okay with it. Now, again, I'm not saying that, I love Tulsi Gabbard's foreign policy, but other issues, I don't know if I could ever vote for a Democrat ever again in my life, because there's always a very sinister element to the Democratic Party that would try to erase the Second Amendment and a whole bunch of other things. So, even if Tulsi ran in 2024, I don't know. If the Republican option is more like Trump, I'll vote Trump, or the Trump Republican, or But if it's Paul Ryan versus Tulsi Gabbard, I'd rather have Tulsi Gabbard. So if it's Mittens Romney, because Mittens wants to run again, it's just a matter of there has to be a Trump-type Republican running for me to even think, for me to vote Republican again, because I'm going to vote Republican. Well, I vote Trump in 2020. He's a good president. Most of the accusations and allegations against him can be tied to President Obama. And then they say, well, that's whataboutism. And what you should say is, yes, it is. Yeah, it is. It's called hypocrisy. It's called irony. If you're a vegan, don't condemn people for eating hamburgers if you are chewing a hamburger as you're condemning people and saying you're a vegan. It doesn't work out. That's not right. But, what I was trying to say is most Democrats agree with Clinton. So they're not going to, when it was McCain, it was, oh my God, how dare you, his military service. When it's Tulsi Gabbard, where are the Democrats lining up to condemn Hillary? They can't, because it's a cult of personality. If they condemn Hillary, they're going to be eventually condemning themselves, looking in the mirror and saying, oh my God, I voted 2016 for this woman. I'm going to be forced to vote 2020 for this person as well. So, I find it fascinating. And people, there's still people like, she's not running. She's not running. Well, then why did she go after Tulsi Gabbard? For Kamala Harris? Because Tulsi Gabbard in 60 seconds, completely sunk that campaign. Oh, you went after people, you hid exculpatory evidence, and you engaged in hypocrisy by, there's a lot of things that Harris did that's hypocritical. The thing is, like, when Democrats run on virtue, when they run on morality, and then they're shown to be immoral, there goes the campaign. There goes the campaign. And then what Democrats love to do is they love to say, well, I'm a tough prosecutor. Then they say, well, the criminal justice system is racist. Well, which one is it? Did you engage in, did you work in a racist system to incarcerate people who should never have been incarcerated? Or were you a tough prosecutor who's also nice, who's also moral and virtuous like good Democrats? I mean, reality is gonna come very hard for Democrats and liberals and pretty much everyone on the left. Reality is not going to be pretty, because Clinton 2020 is not only a reality, it's the destiny of the Democratic Party. There's just a process of elimination. Just a basic process of elimination. Is Biden going to become nominee? Yes or no? Does Biden have a winning campaign? David Cook, thank you. Does Biden have a winning campaign? Yes, this is not rocket science. Does Warren have a winning campaign? Because God bless Bernie Sanders, he has certain health issues, so he's out. Everyone else is not even close. Do you think that Tulsi Gabbard is as popular or less popular than Amy Klobuchar? Because that's what the polls say. She's just as popular, or Amy Klobuchar has just as much of a following. How about that's absurd? Clinton didn't go after Amy Klobuchar. She went after Tulsi Gabbard. Why? Because Tulsi is a political obstacle. Andrew Yang and Tulsi Gabbard are far more popular than what the poll numbers say among Democrats. Okay? But that's just the way the Democratic Party runs. Then what they have to do is they have to make people who voted for Clinton so angry. Pilgrim driver! When will the Golden Moo announce? I have no clue, but it'll be sooner. And it'll be sooner primarily because even Tulsi said, just come out of the shadows. Come out of the shadows and just simply announce your candidacy. Everyone knows what's taking place. Look, I knew that there was nobody. In 2017, I knew that there was nobody, absolutely nobody that, because, okay, for whatever it's worth, I understand. Maybe I was duped. Maybe I duped myself. Who knows? For a moment, Bernie Sanders had a special campaign. For a moment. It was a very special, powerful, uplifting campaign. There was something very, innocent or pure. For maybe, obviously, that wasn't really the case. But for a moment, Kenny Franklin, she's waiting for the indictments to drop so she can say, Trump's going to after his political enemies. He's a tyrant. The Golden Moon was the worst. Kenny Franklin, thank you. Kenny. I think, Kenny, that she's actually, I think the indictments, I think Clinton will get indicted after she loses to Trump, and she will lose. And I think that at this point right now, they're really looking at it as, well, maybe we can barely get a victory by convincing as many people as possible that Trump is this erratic madman who is the most horrendous person on the planet. Because there are people who truly believe that he's a tyrant. There are people who truly believe he's this authoritarian monster. They don't see what he's actually done. And they don't see what he actually says. His personality, like, if you listen to him speak, he's not like, oh, this polished presidential type. I mean, he is when he's given a forum where people aren't frothing at the mouth, but he's not like this DC polished bureaucrat, politician. But when you listen to him, it's not like, he doesn't say anything horrendous or egregious. It's just he gives his viewpoint. He gives his what he wants to do, what he wants to achieve. It just happens to be that he has a different way of seeing things. Kameshwari Kate! I never unsubscribed from HA because I love watching him. Oh, nice. Wow. Almost read that. I don't know what to do with that. Thank you. Wow. I don't know whether I should be offended or amused. Madge Mac! When will DWS Noodle Hair? Thank you, Kameshwari. Kate, very nice. Thank you. Madge Mac. Noodle Hair is going to stay in the behind the scenes. So if you see you'll see the outline of Debbie Wasserman's mane in like a shadowy outline. Pilgrim Driver, do you think the DNC threatened? No, I don't think so. I think perhaps Bernie was not part of it, but Teresa King, thank you. Thank you, Teresa. But yeah, I mean, Kameshwari Kate, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I think that ultimately what will take place is Clinton will fight. She'll probably say something like, there might be somebody else that calls Clinton out and says, why don't you just run already? And she'll be like, you know what? I tried to inform everyone that Tulsi was a Russian operative, and all I get is mean-spirited responses. I am not the rot that is personified corruption. You are so rude after I accused you of working with Russia with no evidence at all. I can't believe it. How dare you? You know what? I think I'm running. Why not? Trump wants me to run. Buster Peak 21. Voting Tulsi in primary? No. I'm not a Democrat anymore. So... I'm trying to think. What? Paul Fullerton, thank you for watching from Poland. Paul, thank you. Dragon Model, hello. Hello, Dragon Model. No bad, Janet. Thank you. So let's just, let's see here. Let's look at, I don't know, I just woke up today and I was like, I'm sure that there are a lot of people still reeling from what Hillary did. All for Biden and Warren, right? Yeah. And then Andrew Yang, he's awesome. He backed Tulsi Gabbard, defended Tulsi Gabbard. And then, of course, the Clinton proxies were like, did you see what Andrew Yang said? And I think Marianne Williamson also backed. The love goblins were in effect. Nice, Marianne Williamson. I love it. The Democratic establishment has got to stop smearing women it finds convenient. The character. You know what? The interesting thing, Marianne Williamson's great. She's awesome. But, oh, and of course, Cory Booker. He has to back Clinton. Oh, I love this. The wonderful progressive. Oh, I love this. What a great progressive. Oh, so great. They're so petrified. They're going to do a third party. And we're going to lose again because of Jill Stein. We outspent Trump 2-1. We had the FBI working for me. I convinced millions that the Russians dislike me, even though the Russians have more on me than anyone else. And I tried to help everyone by disparaging a veteran. And still, they don't understand my worth. You know what? I'm just going to run again. Just, you know what? I've had enough of this. And Andrew Yang's awesome. He's like, Tulsi Gabbard deserves much more respect and thanks than this. She literally just got back from serving our country abroad. God bless you, Andrew Yang. Marianne Williamson is great, but the interesting thing with Marianne Williamson, she was all on the Trump monster thing. She was like, Trump is like a really bad monster. And the psychic forces of Trump, if you look at the spirits, almost demonic spirits of Trump, taking a psychic foothold of this country. What? People are calling me, what? What are they calling me? Oh my God. You know what? No, that's not right. So Democrats started, Democrats started looking at Marianne Williamson and saying things that weren't very nice. And then she realized, you know what? I went all in trying to paint Trump as the biggest monster that has ever existed. And this is the thanks I get. So then, slowly Marianne Williamson realized that Democrats don't really care how much you dislike Trump. They care if your image is good for their image. Even you could say the right things, but for some reason, they didn't like what Marianne Williamson was standing for, so then they disparaged her. Same thing with Andrew Yang. You see that Democrats are trying to disparage Andrew Yang now. You see that with Tulsi Gabbard. And then, of course, you get, Cory Booker, by the way, he got into Congress because Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner had a fundraiser for him. Or I should say, he helped fund his initial campaign, and this is a fact. This is a fact. You can look it up. Let's look it up right now. It's a fact. So here, this was in, let's see. I don't regret fundraising with Kushner and Ivanka. So this is Cory Booker. I don't regret. So wait. So you let the Russians? You got money from the Kremlin? Oh, that's right. I guess when it's Democrats working with Ivanka and Kushner, it's never about Putin. But then when it's not convenient for them, then they bring up Putin. I mean, it's like who believes this? Most Democrats don't believe this nonsense. But they still go with it. That's one of the reasons they'll lose. That is seriously one of the reasons they'll lose. Clinton is going to run sooner than later because of all of this. I really don't think they imagined Tulsi Gabbard going that hard against them. I really don't. I mean, it was a catharsis, ladies and gentlemen. It was a real catharsis. It was a real catharsis to hear that. I mean, she stated exactly what people think. She stated exactly how people feel. And it's just, I find it very interesting that this will probably end up convincing Hillary to run a lot sooner than later. I don't know when the Golden Moo is thinking of jumping into the race. I have no clue. I know that it's pretty much a foregone conclusion now that she's running. She will lose. I explain in the Times of Israel in 2019 and also the Huffington Post in 2017 why she'll lose. The voter turnout is not going to be good. It's going to be low. And the economy is too good. So, and Democrats, interestingly enough, if they run on their Green New Deal, if they bring it up even, because you're going to see they're not going to talk about climate change at all. Like the first 2 to 3, the 2-3 months before the election, they'll be like, climate change, bad. It's like a hoax. What are you talking about? What? Oh, yeah, that was, come on. It was a resolution. We had enough sense not to pass legislation. Come on. No, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan. Nah, come on. We're not going to do anything to hurt manufacturing. Are you nuts? We're not serious. Come on. Orange man. Bad. Come on. Russia. And then, it's not going to work. And all the smartest people in the room will be like, oh, no. Clown World Order. Keep talking, Hillary. I wanted to keep running her mouth. Keep talking, Hillary. I wanted to keep running her mouth so people remember what criminal. Keep it going, Hillary. Well, I'll call you CWO. CWO. Not only will she continue, she must. The Golden Moo must. Look. This was a very good thing for Democrats, what she did, which was despicable. To disparage Tulsi Gabbard is despicable, but it's also extremely. It's very good for Clinton's campaign because she has millions of people now saying, you know what, you're right. Tune in, drop out, enjoy your channel. Thank you. Tune in, drop out. Thank you very much. Tune in, drop out. Thank you. I mean, you have to understand. How many times in life can you lose but win? How many times in life can you act despicable but also seem virtuous to people? The way Democrats work and the way Clinton works is the following. Democrats act in the most disingenuous and duplicitous and oftentimes sinister manner, but they're doing so for a higher purpose. So they really truly think that this is the way the game is played, and the game of politics is messy, and they're the messiest. The game of politics is nasty, and they're the nastiest. The game of politics is horrible. They're the most horrible. And that's a source of pride. They look at it, ladies and gentlemen. You have to understand. They look at all of this as a source of pride. Going after Trump, setting up, framing him. They don't care. They don't care because they really truly think that he's the reincarnation of every despot in history. They don't understand that it's like, you know what? They cheated Bernie Sanders. They fabricated and set up Trump. They're the ones who want to keep Americans overseas forever in conflicts that have no end, that never-ending conflict, never-ending quagmires. That's the most important thing for me, to get Americans home. Get them home. I want Americans home from never-ending conflict. Democrats want to keep them there. That's wrong. And then they think that they're like, you know, the most will the chicken come home to roost in the house? The golden muumuu has eaten all the chickens, so she's like, these chickens good. The chickens have already come home to roost, and more of them will roost more. Thank you, Pilgrim Driver. Thank you. They lost the election, and oh my God, the temper tantrum. It's never ending. It's never, ever, ever ending. It's like it just will never end. It's this never-ending temper tantrum. I don't know. I just woke up today and I'm like, you know, I got a kibitz with 763 of the most awesome people on YouTube. Thank you, each and every one of you. And my super chat, thank you, each and every one of you. And thank you, just everyone, because what Hillary did was, what the golden muumuu did was not only uncalled for, it was despicable. She's going after a veteran. Please add Bane to your vocal stylings. Madge Mac! But the Madam Cyberhack benefits. Madam Cyberhack benefits from being despicable. So, like, if you played sports, you realize, like, no, you don't benefit from losing. You don't benefit from losing. Losing is losing. The problem, however, is that Clinton and Democrats have found a way to keep winning even though they lose. So they lost the election. They cheated Bernie Sanders. But really, you know what? They're fighting against Russia. So at the end of the day, Ronald, thank you. At the end of the day, you know, they're doing okay. At least, you know, Trump is an anomaly. Trump is just an anomaly. He's just an anomaly. You know, we just have to, you know, once we get a choice again, and that's their angle. Pilgrim Driver. Nah, Nadler is just chilling. He's there. They've run out of material. Nadler and Schiff are like, you know what? We have a phone conversation. Yeah, really bad. Impeachable. Oh, so bad. Like, before it was like this grandiose plot to work with Putin. Now it's a phone conversation. Soon it'll be like someone stubbed their toe and it's Trump's fault. This person in the intelligence community is unknown. He stubbed his toe because of Trump. Yes, he stubbed his little toe. We have to, you know what? We have to have about 10 investigations. They're running out of material. Russia, I need my mortgage payment. Everything bad. Has anyone on the left ever wondered why everything bad is blamed on Russia? Like, that's the most xenophobic, irrational, sinister type of thing. Why blame? That is Orwellian. People say, "Oh, you have Orwell. You're voting for Trump." It's like, yeah. George Orwell probably wouldn't have voted for Trump. He probably wouldn't have voted, definitely would not have voted for Clinton. But one thing that he foreshadowed in 1984 is exactly what Democrats are doing, which is blaming other countries for their failures and abiding by the irrational tirades of unelected intelligence officials that they cite for blaming other countries. And also semantics, the verbal refuse of euphemisms and just changing the meanings of words. Secret spaceship! Moo Moo versus Orange Man, the Thrill ML2, Orange Power 2020. Thanks, HA. The secret spaceship. Thank you. The secret spaceship. Thank you. Tree climbing! Tulsi's learning from Donald J. Trump. Be tough, yeah? Yeah, well, I think that she realizes that, at a certain point, you just have to just, you know what? Everyone knows what's going on. And that's great, too, because she put it all out on the line. And she said, just run already. Look, Trump and Tulsi, they know. I know in 2017, it's not, everyone's petrified, but that's not the issue here. If Clinton were just a normal candidate, tune in, drop out, thank you. The secret spaceship, thank you, tree climbing. If she were just a normal candidate, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. So, okay, so she's running again. People are petrified. They are absolutely petrified. They know that the Democratic Party is going to just be obliterated. They know this. But with Clinton, it's like, hey, I can still win. And when you look at it from her perspective, it makes sense for Clinton to run again. It really does, because she's their only hope. I mean, she really is their only hope. They have no chance with Biden or Warren. Zero. Yeah, Warren's going to win the Rust Belt with the Green New Deal that the AFL-CIO is against. That makes no sense at all. And Biden doesn't even want to run. He doesn't even want to run. I mean, Biden really just does not want to run. He just does not. He just does not. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's just check out. Okay, I am not, I repeat, not on Twitter. Not on Twitter. But you can always check out what's going on Twitter. It's pretty easy. Lines drawn after Clinton and Gabbard exchange. That's right. Oh, here we go. And here we go. Tulsi Gabbard gets 2020 endorsement from David Duke. Oh, there we go. The Clinton machine is at it again. Of course. Don't you know that it's Russia and David Duke? So Tulsi Gabbard wants to bring home Americans, and of course that correlates with, racists and Russians. And that's, of course, It's just... This is unbelievable, too. And when Democrats lose, I will explain. This is the type of politics. This is the type of politics that, it's always this vapid type of, who else likes Tulsi? Space Martians who want to take over the planet. Yeah. Well, I guess that's the reason, that's what's really going on. This stuff really, this is like like Democrats love this stuff. They first Russia, now this. I think we've learned our lesson with Tulsi. Let's go back to Clinton, who presided over mass incarceration. I mean, they're like putrid. This is like the most putrid political party ever. My God, you know what's most unpleasant about them and repulsive? That they truly think they're on the side of. You know how many times I've had people tell me, "You're on the wrong side of history. You're on the wrong side of history, man." No, I'm on the right side of history. Pilgrim driver, Barron Trump for president 2044. If he's like his dad, yeah. It'll be interesting. I really don't think that they envisioned Tulsi Gabbard saying what she did. I don't think they care. Because, the only charming, it's not charming, but the only interesting thing about Clinton is that she doesn't care at all. Because she knows she has millions upon millions of people who will believe anything, whether it makes sense or not, will support her. So the Golden Moo is going to run, hopefully sooner than later, so we can. I mean, this charade is really annoying. Shungupatsika! Golden Moo, the queen of warmongers, embodiment of corruption and personification of the rot that has sickened the Democratic Party, coming soon. Shungupatsika! Oh my God, the embodiment of corruption and the personification of the rot that has sickened the Democratic Party. Oh, I love it. Shungu Patsika, thank you. Oh, I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. Here's Bernie's version of it. Here's Bernard Sanders. Hillary, Madam Hillary. A very nice human being who mistakenly used a private servers with top secret intelligence, but again, that was not a big deal, who perhaps had many wrong, failed military interventions that destroyed the universe, and generally and altogether, good human being. That's Bernie. That's Bernie's version of what Tulsi said. Oh, Tulsi, she's a fighter. God bless Bernie. He's not a fighter. He's like, I'm gonna fight the 1%. I don't want to. He has a health issue. God bless him. I don't want to. You know what? I just want him healthy and happy. Once he endorses Clinton, then I'll do the. It's unbelievable. Shungu Patsika, thank you again. Yeah, I mean, it's just. It's interesting, too, because Tulsi Gabbard was 1 or 2% in the polls. Obviously, she has a lot more. They're somehow suppressing the poll numbers. I mean, she's a lot more popular than 1% in the Democratic Party, and I think that's obvious, but why would Clinton do this? Do you think it's for Warren? You think she's like, I might not be the first female president, but Warren will. Yeah, right. Said Clinton never. Never. Integrity 101. That was good. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll go for a tiny bit longer. So, so Hillary Clinton. Notice also, what is Joe Biden even doing? Really, if you type in Joe Biden, what's he doing? Oh, okay, more of the controversies. The only positive is the Biden campaign intensifies its criticism of Facebook. Wow, wow, that's pretty. Biden struggles to reverse fall. Yeah. Okay, then what's Elizabeth Warren doing? So that campaign is pretty much done. Okay, Elizabeth Warren. Oh, that's nice. Michael Moore endorses Bernie. I'm not sure if he endorsed Bernie. He might have in 2016. It might have been late. I think he waited until the last second. I think he eventually endorsed Clinton, not Bernie. As Bernie Sanders scores AOC and Michael Moore endorsements, is a clash with Warren inevitable? That clash will not be a clash. It'll be like, hi, how's everything? Everyone's voting Clinton anyway. So this charade, it's like, my God, my God. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. Thank you, everyone, to my super chat. Thank you so very much. I'll be back a little later. Thanks, everyone, and God bless. Thank you so very. Evan S. I love Tim Pool. Evan S. HA, could you please have a debate with Tim Pool? He's where he used to be. I would love to. It would be an honor for me to discuss anything with Tim. I think Tim Pool is great. I watch him all the time, and I would love to. I don't know exactly what we would debate because I don't think that. I guess he's not voting Trump, but he doesn't have. He doesn't really. He doesn't really dislike. Maybe he dislikes certain Trump policies, but I think that he would agree with me on the policies that I agree with and the reasons I'm voting for President Trump. I would love to have a discussion with him anytime he'd like and explain why I'm voting for President Trump. But yeah, would love that. If anybody wants to contact me, Tim Pool or anyone, it's contactgoodman78@gmail.com. Evan S., thank you. I have a great deal of respect for Tim Pool. I would love to have a discussion with him. Evan S., thank you very much. Everyone, God bless, and have a great, great day. I'll see you a bit later, and thank you, everybody. Keith Bloom, thank you.